Well, it's August 24th. Fernando is on my machine there working on my fixing up the Tatiana model. Figured I might as well address some mail that I've got in. David S. writes in, I heard you mention about how Guilty Gear Xrd inspired the art direction of your project. What's your thought on the new King of Fighters 14 and their switch to 3D? Funny enough, I actually just bought that earlier today. This is the Burn to Fight edition. There's only a little bit more than the other one. Yeah, clearly Guilty Gear Xrd was one of the main inspirations for the art direction for our project. I mean, absolutely love that game, and I'm not actually big into the fighting games, which is kind of a lie almost, because I'm here wearing my Capcom Pro, my old Capcom Pro Tour T-shirt. But I've always loved SNK and their artwork, and I personally think it's a bit of taking a step back with them going to 3D. But hopefully, maybe one day we'll see that they'll switch over to a similar system that the Guilty Gear Xrd is doing. I mean, who knows? Maybe we might be the ones contracted to make that happen, because we are kind of doing that anyways. But yeah, I mean, either way, I love what SNK does, and very much looking forward to cracking this open. Sooner or later, I won't be home anytime soon, but I just had to get it. So, yeah. Hopefully, I hope that answers your question. Next question, Robert Crowley. This is actually more of a. It's got more than one line. So bear with me. Hello, I recently discovered your Kickstarter project, Abyssian Nights. It definitely looks amazing, and I wish I could help it. But unfortunately, lack of money, I can't. What I wanted to say is I greatly admire and respect what you are doing with it. I am someone who has my own project, and in all honesty, every day I feel like I'm doing things completely wrong. I have a great idea, but lack of talent to make it into something. I have so many ideas typed up, but the lack of artistic talent to give it visual form. So I waste a lot of time searching on Twitch for artists to join the teams in hopes of actually forming a team. The lack of funds makes it hard to hire people. I have a few people help me by getting me 4 landscapes, 1 character, and a rough map concept done, but I would like to learn learn more on what I can do. I would like to hear your story on how you started a studio, how you went about meeting people and forming your team, and how you manage to get connections. As an amateur, I am still unsure how I should do things, and what route to take to achieve my dream. It would be really informative to hear your experiences. I will link the DeviantArt account tied to my project, even if we only have 7 concepts done so far. I hope it gives you an idea of what type of project I want to make and my passion for it, despite my struggles. And sends me the link. Well, Robert, first of all, thanks for your support. I mean, realistically, I understand that not everyone can actually put money towards the project, but to be totally honest, I honestly don't even know what I'm doing half the time. But I'm actually wondering. I mean, are you doing a game project or an animation project? I mean, I did take a look at your DeviantArt page, and it kind of looks like you're doing a game. I'm not 100% sure, but it sounds like you're more of an ideas guy right now. Because from what you're writing in, it seems like you have a lot of ideas, but you lack the artistic form, lack the artistic talent. But I'm wondering, what else are you bringing towards the table? Being an ideas guy is great, but an ideas guy alone in a project really doesn't do much. So if anything, usually, what I usually recommend folks is also to pick up maybe on like the production side, where you basically sit in the producer seat and you're there, you're bringing everyone together and trying to find ways to fund your project, as well as possibly, learning some of the stuff that really helps your team. So I mean, if you can't draw like I can, I can't draw either. But what I do spend my time, on researching and understanding things like anatomy and just the general art style of what I'm trying to hit. Because at least this way I can at least provide feedback to artists. Because really, if you're in a small studio, you really have to also fill in the art director position yourself. As for how I started my studio, I literally just decided to do it because I didn't feel like waiting until everything was all lined up to start. I just went and did it, because really, as soon as you start, just keep trying, and eventually you'll find people who will help you the right way. Trying to find artists isn't easy, especially good ones. But for a lot of this project, we just kind of went with what we could get. So I mean, just to get it started, once we got the original concept going, we just had one of the people that helped start this project, start with some of the basic artwork. And then I ended up getting another intern somewhere who actually could draw really well. And so I had her do up some concepts and just we basically got building a portfolio of stuff there. As for how do I manage to get connections, that's where it's a little bit weird. I've been in the entertainment industry for almost 20 years now, and through that time, I spent a lot of time helping people. So much like how I'm just doing this video for you, it's like I look at it as, if someone contacts me about a project and I kind of like what they're doing, I will support that in whatever way I can. Whether even it's usually never with money because I don't have any, but it's usually it's like maybe helping them find someone that they need, or providing advice or whatnot. And when it comes down to dealing with just making just raw connections, it's like someone might actually have a project that needs some serious support, and if I have the time to actually help them with that, I will. And that's really all it is. I mean, a lot of folks are really scared of doing that because you probably will get screwed. I mean, I've done favors for people who basically have never and will never repay those back, but that's part of the gamble, right? I mean, in the end, it's kind of I look at it, I helped this person, I learned something out of that, and that's all I really care. Right, because in the end, it's like I can say I was associated with this project. If it gets big, great. If not, oh well. But at least through that, you basically meet a lot of people. And the funny thing is, sometimes you don't actually meet people. The people that you meet aren't the people who you're actually helping. Sometimes it's actually like if I'm joining in on your team to help, not only do I meet you, I also meet the rest of your team, right? And who knows? Like sometimes and some of those team members you might actually jive with, and they actually be willing to lend you a hand for another project. But that's really about it. Definitely would suggest figuring out what else you can bring onto the table, because really, if you're just going to be the ideas guy, you're going to be missing a lot of people. Because I mean, it's like what, and to get a project off the ground, just build what you can. If you can't find an artist, use programmer art. I mean, if you're building a game, use programmer art. If you're building an animation, use dummies, right? I mean, it's just you're using stand-ins until you get the real thing. Because in the end, it's all about the essence of the project, right? Because if you're building a game, you want to make sure that the game mechanics are solid and it's actually fun, not so much the art. All right. When you're building an animation, the art's really important, but at the same time, it's like, well, do you actually have the right character? Do you actually have the right flow? Do you actually have the right kind of, is a story done up well? Is a script done up well, right? And you can build up on those. And sometimes, and it's actually not hard to actually bring on people if you have enough. Because the thing is, it's like, I know working with a lot of artists, it's like, a lot of them are hesitant to join a project, even though they're willing to do it for free, if they don't know you're going to follow through with it. Because you don't know how many people there are who have ideas, but they just don't have the willpower to just finish through, or actually just get through the hard part of starting it. Because it's one thing to do things for free. It's another thing to do artwork for free and then never have it materialize, right? And I mean, for the most part, I think artists, if they are going to help you, they want to have that exposure, and it's really up to you to actually make sure you follow through with that. And I hope that answered your question. I mean, I did have a look at your DeviantArt page, and it definitely looks like you have some really great artwork, at least the landscape art. The character artwork definitely still needs some work, but hey, you know what? The stuff that I started off with was a lot. I had a lot less, and it wasn't even close to that. But you start with something and you just build with it, and that's really all I can recommend. Yeah, and that's really about it. I don't think I'm pretty sure I covered up all the points here. But yeah, if you have any more questions, just ask. I mean, that's what I'm here for. Hopefully Fernando will be finished up with my machine so I can do more stuff. But otherwise, I'll talk to you guys later.